Coming up next on Channel 6 News Live at 5.
The search continues for an Untitled teenager here at Nakalula Falls, and it will go around the clock. I'm Kendra Reach, and I'll have a live report from Gadsden.
Are you one of those people who's trying to be heart healthy? I'm Laurie Keenard, and coming up on the HealthCast, I'll tell you about some foods that are lower in cholesterol than you might expect.
Many of the kids behind me paid $400 for a trip they almost didn't take. I'm Jonathan Elias. Coming up at Live at 5, I'll tell you all about that.
And UAB's Blazers prepare for battle in the Final Four. Those stories and more ahead.
Sears Optical has values you can see, like reduced prices on all frames. Yes, every frame is reduced. That's value you can see at Sears Optical.
Now at Red Lobster, one great thing deserves another and another. Introducing our great seafood trios. For a limited time, find 6 new trios starting at $7.95. More of everything you crave, like 3 great tastes of lobster, a new trio of shrimp and crab. Something for everyone, starting at just $7.95. Kids' dinner, $1.95. Don't miss the great seafood trios at Red Lobster. And get a ½ pound of snow crab legs for just $3.95 with any entree.
There's a song for you in Tennessee.
Sing a song of nature at one of Tennessee's 51 state parks. Whether it's a lakefront cabin for fishing or tuning up your golf or tennis game at one of Tennessee's great resorts, we've got a song for you. For a free brochure, call 1-800-421-6683.
Come to Tennessee, we're playing your song.
I never knew I even liked this house until after the fire. Then I remembered all the work I'd done on it. And after 9.5 years, you can't exactly call it a starter home anymore. So I was glad we could fix it up and live here. And have enough sense to love it this time.
Nationwide is on your side.
The fun and excitement of Wheel of Fortune spins your way at 6:30, following Channel 6 News. Now, from Alabama's source for news and information, this is Channel 6 News, live at 5, with Scott Richards, Brenda LeDunn, weather with meteorologist Mike Royer, and Gil Tyree with sports.
These searchers are still looking tonight for an Untitled teenager who fell into the rapids below Nakalula Falls. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on Channel 6 News Live at 5. I'm Scott Richards.
And I'm Brenda LeDunn. Rescue teams say there is little hope left that 16-year-old Leslie Kaler will be found alive.
She slipped and fell into the water beneath Nakalula Falls last night. Kendra Veach is at the scene right now, comes to us via our mobile newsroom, Skylink 6. Kendra, you've been with those rescue teams all day. What are they telling you? What's the situation?
Well, it doesn't look very good right now. I'm at the top of the falls. You can see them behind me. The search is going on downstream. We cannot get into that area, but they are still searching right now. It doesn't look very good right now. How long could this take? Well, nobody really knows. The last time this happened, it was in the early 70s. The search lasted 17 days. The problem there, the victim was lodged underneath a rock, and they fear that that is what has happened in this case. As you can see behind me, this is the top of the falls, and this is what the rescuers have to deal with. The water pressure is very intense. It's moving rapidly downstream, and they have to contend with that, but they are doing the best that they can.
It's hard to do down there. The rocks are slippery, the water's up. We got approximately 300,000 gallons of water per minute going through down there. It's hard for us to do anything with.
The rescue squads have been scouting the bank of the creek and using metal probes in their search for Leslie Kaler. It was in this area where Leslie and 3 friends were walking on the rocks. She slipped and fell into the water. Her date, 18-year-old Billy McCoy, jumped in to save her. The 2 friends who were with Leslie and Billy describe what happened.
She just slipped on the rock. She stepped on some of that slippery stuff, and she just went down the waterfalls.
He jumped in and tried to grab her hand, and I saw him go under too. They both went under, and when she went under, that's the last time I saw her. He said he did grab hold of her, but the current was too strong for him to keep his grip.
He just screamed Leslie, and then we couldn't hear him after that, and he floated downstream a little bit, and they got him out.
I was scared for Leslie because I didn't see her come up. I knew that she was gone. I just didn't know what to do.
Now, Billy McCoy is going to be okay. He's at a Gadsden hospital. He has no broken bones, but he was badly bruised and shaken up by the incident. Scott and Brenda.
Kendra, in light of this tragedy, are there any plans at all in the works to make the area safer?
Well, that's a good question. I've talked to some people today, and nobody really wants to say. This is a Gadsden City Park. It would be up to the City Council to do something. They do have a meeting tomorrow. It is a dangerous area. People walk out on the rocks all the time. I really don't know what they could do to prevent it. We're going to talk a little bit more about that at 6 o'clock.
Kendra, thank you very much.
The legal battle is underway between the Birmingham Turf Club and the Racing Commission. The Racing Commission rejected a proposal to allow Delaware North companies to manage horse racing at the track. But Delaware North officials are hoping to convince a U.S. bankruptcy judge that the Racing Commission abused its power by rejecting the plan. In testimony today, a horse owner stressed the urgency of a quick decision.
Track in the country is watching Birmingham, and like I was just telling the other gentleman, I passed out about 40 stall applications in New Orleans, and I know there's a lot more out of Tampa. And with the purse structure that they're going to be able to give away here this year, that's about where the bulk of the horses are going to come from, those two tracks. Well, we end in New Orleans on April the 3rd. Tampa Bay ends on around the 1st of April. So we've all got to have commitments. We got to have some place that we're going to be going. We can't be just holding up and shipping these horses all over the country.
The racing commissioners, including Mayor Richard Arrington, have all been subpoenaed to testify at the hearing. The hearing could last through Saturday.
Now let's check in with meteorologist Mike Royer for a first look at our weather. Mike?
All right, Scott, a lot of good things to talk about. A beautiful day in Alabama today, and it's going to stay quite nice tonight, most of the day tomorrow. But we are talking about some changes. You'll remember over the weekend we talked about good rain chances Wednesday night and into Thursday. We're going to move that up a little bit. It looks like during the day Wednesday, some showers and thunderstorms will definitely move into Alabama. Let's look at the tower cam and our current conditions quickly. You can see our temperature is 81, humidity 37. Sunset time coming up at 6:04. Pretty good looking forecast. Tell you all about it coming up shortly. Brenda?
Okay, thank you, Mike. Well, now let's take a first look. There we go. Let's take a first look at some stories making headlines outside of Alabama. It seems high winds are hampering efforts to clean up a huge oil spill off of Valdez, Alaska. Cleanup crews had to postpone the use of dispersing chemicals or efforts to burn off some of the slick. Now, Alaska's governor has declared a state emergency because marine life are being threatened by the spill. Also, oil prices took a leap upward today amid fears that the spill will cut into Alaskan production. And former President Reagan will not have to testify at the Iran-Contra trial, at least for now, that is. You see, the judge in the trial rejected a request by North's lawyer to subpoena Reagan. However, he left the door open. The former president could be called to testify later in the trial.
Should doctors have to tell you if you should buy only brand name drugs when you fill a prescription? Coming up, we'll tell you about the battle over generic drugs.
And next, we'll show you how some egg producers have tried to crack the cholesterol problem caused by eggs. That story coming up on HealthCast.
$74.90. That's the Long Lewis Ford price for your brand new 1989 Ranger S pickup. For $74.90, you get 2.3-liter dual plug multi-port fuel injection, real gauges, cargo light, tinted glass, power brakes, interval wipers, easy care vinyl interior, rear step bumper, paint sealant, undercoat, and more. Yes, Long Lewis has your $74.90 Ranger S in stock. Yes, the price truly is $74.90 after rebate. Yes, Long Lewis will deliver with no fine print.
Hillcrest has a program just for young adults.
I wonder if Amy will want me to read to her.
What do you mean?
Before I was sick, I read to her every night.
You're not sick anymore, remember?
I know, but will they know?
They'll know. Ready?
No.
Hillcrest can help young adults regain control of their lives. Call Helpline. The consultation is free.
Everybody knows that milk's for babies, so charming, disarming, whatever they do. Everybody knows that milk's for babies, and when you know it, baby, milk's for you. Soft baby skin, strong baby bones, bright baby smile, and ooh, great muscle tone. Wouldn't you know it, baby? Milk's for you. It's a health kick, baby.
Different people have different reasons for making Shell gasolines the best-selling in America. Some like the performance of SU 2000.
Put in the best.
Some like paying the same price, cash or credit.
Okay, team, let's go.
Some like the little extras you don't find everywhere.
Your front tire's a bit low.
The people may be different. The reasons may be different. But the choice is the same. Shell. Experience the difference.
Here's the long and the short of it. Automatic transmissions in full-size pickups. At your Ford dealer, they're short on automatic transmissions. Even when they look hard and find one, it cost you over $850. But at your Heart of Alabama Chevy dealers, we're long on automatics. Matter of fact, Chevrolet now gives you the automatic transmission, no charge. A $795 savings. So put it into overdrive. All new full-size pickups with these savings won't last long at your Heart of Alabama Chevy dealers.
Well, we've all been told to keep our cholesterol down, which means avoiding sometimes the foods that we like. Health reporter Laurie Keener joins us now with some good news if you're an egg lover. Laurie, is it true? Are eggs not as bad as we thought?
Well, ordinary eggs are high in cholesterol, but there's some new eggs on the shelf that are boasting lower cholesterol. In tonight's health headlines, new Carroll County eggs have at least 25% less cholesterol. The lower cholesterol comes from a combination of the breeding of chickens, the age of the birds, and a special high-protein feed. You still shouldn't eat too many, though. Each egg contains 205 milligrams of cholesterol. The most cholesterol we should consume in a day is 300 milligrams. Half of all Americans have too much cholesterol in their diet, but we can fight back. All this week on the Family Health Cast, we'll focus on cholesterol. In a series of reports called Campaign Against Cholesterol, we'll talk about everything from why you should be concerned to different ways to control your cholesterol level. Research confirms that excess cholesterol in our blood can lead to hardening and narrowing of the arteries, which in turn increases our risk of heart attacks. A cholesterol level under 200 is considered desirable. 200 to 239 is considered borderline high. And if your blood cholesterol level is 240 or above, you have high cholesterol. The amount of cholesterol you have in your blood is primarily dependent on the amount of saturated fat and cholesterol you eat, and the amount of cholesterol your liver manufactures on its own. Some people, like this 32-year-old advertising executive, Larry Turkheimer, were born genetically lucky. They have low blood cholesterol no matter how they eat. Larry eats high cholesterol pizza 2 to 3 times a week. And despite his diet, his blood cholesterol level is only 116. Others, like 9-year-old Melissa Waymer, were born unlucky. No matter how carefully she eats, her cholesterol level is consistently above 500. Most of us are in the middle. Our blood cholesterol levels are something we can control through our lifestyles. The doctor can make recommendations, strong recommendations, but really the changes have to come from the patient. For most of us, those changes are not that difficult. If you want to know the best way to find out whether you need to make some changes, we'll tell you a little bit about that tomorrow as we continue.
Tell us about the special program that's on tonight about cholesterol.
That's right. At 7 o'clock, we'll have Count Out Cholesterol, an hour-long special focusing on this very important issue.
Very good.
Thank you, Laurie. You could be saving more of your money if you use generic drugs. That's what lobbyists for the elderly and organized labor say. They are pushing a bill in the Alabama legislature that would require doctors to write on the prescription whether a brand name drug is necessary. However, the Medical Association of Alabama opposes this legislation, saying it would be a nuisance to doctors. Lobbyists for the AARP, the American Association of Retired Persons, says prescription drugs are the second highest expense of the elderly and that the use of generic drugs must be encouraged.
And coming up later in sports, how confident are the UAB Blazers that they can beat St. John's? Well, tonight you'll hear from the players.
And next, meteorologist Mike Royer will tell us if these warm temperatures will be sticking around. First, let's take a look at Wall Street, where unofficial figures show activity was the slowest of the year.
Hey,
Jim Skinner Ford is having a big month-end invoice sale now.
That's right, Daddy. We're going to sell every new car and truck at flat invoice between now and March 31st.
That's Probes, T-Birds, Tauruses, Aerostars, Rangers. Everything goes at flat invoice, no exception.
Daddy, competition isn't going to like it.
Hey, son, forget competition. Roll them out regardless.
So, folks, if you've even thought about trading, hurry to Jim Skinner Ford on Roebuck Parkway for the big factory invoice sale.
And remember, we'll beat your best deal regardless.
The truth is, heart specialists concerned about aspirin irritation recommend Ecotrin over Bayer to help prevent second heart attack. Consult your doctor about the only brand of aspirin that's safety-coated to protect your stomach. That's Ecotrin, and that's the truth.
Today in Music History, brought to you by Future Floor Wax. The Supremes were the most successful girl group of the 60s, and they helped put Motown Records on the map. With a string of #1 singles beginning in 1964, they became the first group in history to score 4 #1 hits in a row, when this song, Stop in the Name of Love, topped the charts today, March 27th, 1965.
Why do we make Future shine with tough acrylic? Because we know what your floor goes through in a day. Future stands up to any kind of traffic, even messy spills. Future with clear acrylic, the tough shine for your high traffic floor.
Thinking about Taurus? Cutlass Sierra gets better mileage, has more rear legroom, standard power disc brakes, with a basic warranty 3 times longer than Ford's. If you're serious about value in a car, get serious about Cutlass. Still thinking about Taurus? Cutlass Sierra is $25.87 less, plus act now and get a year's worth of gas, or $400 cash back, or 4.9% financing from the Southern Olds family. If you're serious about value in a car, get serious about Cutlass.
Good to be back from vacation. Anytime you're gone for a week, you always come back and you're wondering what's new, what's changed, and first thing I noticed was there's something changed on your face.
Got some more mail today about that. I'll let you read it later if you like.
Is this the kind you can't read on the air?
Oh, no. I read some last week. I may read some more. I've also gotten some good letters. Someone asked me, said I should read those. I thought that would sound kind of goofy to sit here and go, "Dear Mike, I like your beard." So I just read the negative ones, thinking they were interesting. And I put it in the same category as straight ties and bow ties. It's about that important. You know, it just really isn't very important.
Well, the weather is more important, and I know it was pretty chilly last week at times.
At times. We had a good week, though, basically a dry week, and we're getting a little bit below normal for precipitation, as you'll see in a moment, so we'll do some catching up in that department this week. Let's check out, first of all, our Picture the Weather picture. We got a dandy today. Julie Powell is a first grader at Chalkville School, and she drew a picture of her school for her weather picture, and Julie also wrote me a very nice letter. Didn't even mention the beard. I appreciate that, Julie. Let's check out the tower cam and our current conditions, looking down toward Homewood, right? High temperature today, 82 degrees. Low this morning, 56. Record high, 88, set in 1910. Record low, 18, set in 1955. And our sunset time tonight will be a pretty sunset, and it will come at 6:04. Our temperature now, or no precipitation, let's do our precipitation numbers as promised. 5.42 inches for the month of March, barely below normal for the month. That's quite a bit of rain for 1 month, but March is the wettest month of the year normally. We're below normal for the year now by 1.42 inches. Now the temperature, 81, humidity 37%, wind from the southeast at 7, barometric pressure 30.13 inches, and it's stationary. Satellite pictures really tell the tale of what we're dealing with now and what we'll be dealing with for the next couple of days. Another good day, and another good day in light of the fact that we need the precipitation. We better do some rain now. We better do some catching up in the rainfall department, because you know what's coming later on when we get into our dry months. Clear skies over Alabama, most of Georgia, most of Mississippi. However, it changes back to the west. Doesn't look like there's much organizing back there. Look back at the edge of the map, though, and more clearly in a moment, look on the bigger picture. You'll see the clouds coming. 81 here, 86 in Montgomery. Very nice temperatures, 86 degrees in Montgomery, a very warm day there. 76 in Nashville, Memphis at 80, 85 degrees in New Orleans. Clear skies all the way down the Sunshine State tonight. Now, the cloudiness out to the west, and the weather system that's going to affect us now is a weather system we've been watching since last Friday, expecting it to affect us by Thursday of this week, maybe as early as Wednesday night. As I said earlier, we're moving that up a little bit. Very well organized thunderstorms in parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. A variety of tornado watches in effect there. A cold cold front just west of the cloudiness, a low-pressure cell and cold front to the north and west of that, all organizing into one weather system that will begin to affect us tomorrow night with some clouds and good rain chances during the day on Wednesday. The rain is very heavy where it's falling. Again, tornado watches in this thunderstorm area. 2 tornadoes already sighted in southwestern Oklahoma tonight. Tomorrow, low pressure will deepen in Texas. That cold front will come closer, and we'll see low-level clouds build during the day tomorrow. A chance of rain tomorrow night, and rain very likely during the day on Wednesday, with daytime highs staying quite mild tomorrow and then cooling off when the rain arrives. Look at the forecast for tonight. Mostly fair skies, light southeasterly winds, 57. Very nice temperatures overnight tonight. Then tomorrow, partly sunny, chance of an afternoon thunder shower. 83 the high temperature tomorrow, 62 the low tomorrow night. And then on Wednesday, thunderstorms likely. A simple forecast and a high temperature of 75 degrees. Our radar showed a scattered shower up north of Tupelo, Mississippi earlier this afternoon. That has dissipated. Not seen any precipitation now. Probably won't see any till maybe tomorrow evening, but then we'll see some. Wednesday, just plan on it. It's going to be a wet day.
That'll be welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Auburn's women's basketball team is gearing up for the Final Four at the NCAA tournament. Gil Tyree will have details.
And next, UAB Blazers talk about their big game tonight. We'll have a report on the NIT matchup next.
$74.90. That's the Long Lewis Ford price for your brand new 1989 Ranger S pickup. For $74.90, you get 2.3-liter dual plug multi-port fuel injection, real gauges, cargo light, tinted glass, power brakes, interval wipers, easy care vinyl interior, rear step bumper, paint sealant, undercoat, and more. Yes, Long Lewis has your $74.90 Ranger S in stock. Yes, the price truly is $74.90 after rebate. Yes, Long Lewis will deliver with no fine print.
As if by magic, 60% less fat than ice cream and fewer calories, but with the rich, creamy, pure good taste of Barber's ice cream. Barber's Light.
Dependable batteries from the carport, each singing the same familiar tune. The carport. Powerful, high-quality batteries at the absolute lowest prices, guaranteed.
When you purchase an auto part with a lifetime warranty from the carport, you'll never have to buy that part again. The carport. Lifetime warranty parts at the absolute lowest price, guaranteed.
Now, for the first time ever, you can shop over 57 models of cars and trucks within 1 mile. Over 700 new vehicles to choose from, just minutes away from Inverness on Highway 280. We offer the complete GM line of automobiles and trucks, plus Toyotas and Jeeps. Our expansion and growth is due to a simple process, high-quality products at extremely low prices, and an award-winning service department with a total commitment to you, the customer. So come, let us impress you at the Barger dealerships in Sylacauga.
Do you know what cholesterol is?
Something yellow.
Now, if you said celluloid, I could tell you. Little round things all over the place. Ugly.
Join Knots Landing's Joan Van Ark and Dr. Art Ulene to get the facts about the silent killer, cholesterol. Discover how an entire city is battling cholesterol and learn how you can change your lifestyle.
It's never too late to change.
It's a matter of life and death. Count out cholesterol.
Count out cholesterol. Monday at 7 on Channel 6.
Well, if you're a Blazer fan, you know our Blazers are up in New York. And Ron got to go this time, huh?
Ron got the cream de la creme trip. I'll tell you, he's in the Fun City, Big Apple, having a great time. But they're also having a big pep rally down at UAB Arena. It begins at 6 o'clock, so if you're a Blazer fan, you might want to get on down and root the Blazers on. The NIT tournament set to begin tonight at New York. 2 semifinals games at Madison Square Garden. The UAB Blazers among the 4 who have made it to the big show. UAB plays St. John's in the nightcap tonight at the Garden, and MSG, the famed Hall of Hoop, which also happens to be St. John's home floor. Are the Blazers in awe? Ron Grillo asked that question today.
This is Madison Square Garden. In just a few hours, UAB will tip off against St. John's in the NIT semifinals, but the Blazers still don't know what the inside of this building looks like.
I'm serious, man. I mean, I thought we was going to shoot there, but I'm looking forward to the Garden still, like I said, in the airport. And St. John's, like I said, as far as them, we just watched film. They're a tough team. They got some young freshmen that are pretty talented. It's going to be a nice little game.
We haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure we'll see it tonight around 9 o'clock, and that's all that's important. Hopefully we'll be ready to play.
Going to be much of an advantage for St. John's?
I think so, because, you know, we come into a new atmosphere and we kind of get caught up in all the bright lights in the big city, and we got to remain focused on why we're here.
UAB has been forced to practice across town at New York University. The Garden has been unavailable due to commitments to the circus and to the National Hockey League. But adversity has been part of this road to the NIT championship, and look for more positive results. Ron Grillo, Channel 6 Sports, live at 5.
Okay, Ron, let's take a look at the pairings. You see the Billikens of St. Louis University against the Spartans of Michigan State, coached by Judd Heathcote. That the early game will tip off in about 40 minutes from now, and UAB and St. John's Bartow against Carnesecca in the nightcap. Highlights on Nightcast at 10 o'clock. The Auburn women's basketball team started their preparations today for the Final Four in Tacoma. They'll draw Louisiana Tech in the opening round. You might remember they lost to La Tech for the title game last year. Everybody's excited about the team going back to the Final Four. One of those tickled pink is that lady, Vicky Orr. Hartselle native, admits last year was too tough.
I was thinking about this the other night that, if we did make it back to Tacoma, that's one thing that I wouldn't let it, happen. Because we got too relaxed last year in the last game at halftime. I think everyone came out thinking that, this is a breeze. We've got them up by 18 points, and, it's not going to be a problem, but I don't think it'll be a problem this year for sure.
While we're talking Tiger hoops, let's also make mention of the football team in spring practice. Set to begin on Wednesday, head coach Pat Dye will hold a press conference tomorrow. Let's look at the Winston Cup standings. Point standings out today for a new week. Earnhardt, third place finish at Richmond. Number 1, Kowicki 2, Waltrip, Marlin, and Bodine. Take a look at the next 5. Wallace, Wilson, Schrader, Waltrip, Mike Waltrip, and Rick Mass rounding out the top 10.
All right, thanks, y'all. Let's keep our fingers crossed for UAB tonight.
Go Blazers.
That's right. Well, some area school students are on their way to the nation's capital, but they've already learned some lessons along the way.
Coming up, we'll show you how they learned a lot about how important transportation is.
Over 91,000 Cadillac owners wound up as Lincoln owners in the past 5 years. One reason is Lincoln Continental. With Continental, you wind up with more advanced standard steering, braking, and suspension systems than Cadillac Seville. And a car that outsells Seville nationwide 2-to-1. Buy a Continental, Town Car, or Mark 7, and you'll wind up like over 91,000 Cadillac owners. You'll be a Lincoln owner. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
It's a custody battle right out of the 21st century. JR and Mary are getting divorced, and they're fighting, not over children, but over 7 frozen fertilized embryos, no bigger than a grain of sand.
That is my life. Sitting over there in storage.
I cannot allow her to have my child if it's within my power.
A current affair exclusive. Mom versus Dad, the frozen family.
A Current Affair, Monday at 11 on WBRC 6.
I want to welcome you to Midfield Dental Center. We provide comprehensive family dentistry with general dentists and 3 specialists. For those of you who are afraid to go to the dentist, we offer you dentistry done while you sleep. Emergencies are seen promptly, insurance is accepted, and we have special payment plans. Evening appointments are available. We at Midfield Dental Center want to be your family dentist.
With Eckerd System 2, you not only get the finest photo processing available, you get something twice as good. Twice the prints. 1 to keep and 1 to share. Yeah.
Eckerd photo processing. Nothing looks better.
I think I'm putting on weight. No, I'm not. Sometimes your pictures don't come out how you pictured, so Eckerd will buy back any print you don't want. Maybe you were wearing an ugly sweater. Or maybe you were just all thumbs.
Eckerd photo processing. Nothing looks better.
Ooh, paper cut. That's gotta hurt.
Eastwood Ford is the quality used car dealer in Birmingham. Are you in the market for a used car? Are you tired of unrealistic promises by dealers to start or repair your credit? Come to Eastwood Ford, because if you're at least 19 years old, you have $500 in cash or trade. We guarantee you we can sell you a used car. The best used cars in Birmingham are at Eastwood Ford.
That's incredible.
No, that's Eastwood Ford.
He's in the Birmingham and Eastwood Ford.
2 miles east of Eastwood Mall on Highway 78.
Now let's take a look at some of the stories coming up at 6 o'clock. Janet?
Well, Scott, we'll have a live report from a public hearing that should be starting any moment now. It's about dog racing in Jefferson County. Now, dog racing, not horse racing. Local lawmakers will be hearing plenty about that tonight, and we'll show you how it all ties in with the Turf Club's plans. Also in Tuscaloosa, a local minister is asking that the classic novel of Mice and Men be taken off a high school recommended reading list. And Birmingham students were not in school today because of snow. That's right, this was a snow day.
It was very hard to believe with the temperature outside. Thanks, Janet. Well, it seems you don't always get what you pay for. That's what a group of students from Green Valley and Rocky Ridge Elementary Schools had learned. The kids were scheduled to go on a trip to the nation's capital yesterday and had reservations for almost a month now. But because of a mix-up, they almost didn't get to go at all. Jonathan Elias explains how they got on the road again.
These 80 students are boarding buses bound for the nation's capital. They were supposed to have been aboard an Amtrak train yesterday. Instead, they were left standing on the train platform with no tickets to ride.
It was canceled yesterday for some reason that they overbooked, and they told us we couldn't get on, and they called us out there, and the train just left.
Took my children up, got them on the platform ready to load the train, and the representative from Alabama Limousine came and told us she was sorry, but we had no tickets for the train and that we couldn't ride the train. We would have to make other arrangements to get to Washington yesterday.
$100, $200, $300, $400 is how much each student paid for their week-long trip to Washington, D.C. They were supposed to have gotten there by train, but reservations that were made through Alabama Limousine somehow got mixed up, and now they're having to settle on getting there by bus.
All the kids were disappointed, and we paid early. We paid February 20th. They said the tickets had to be bought by March 1st. And we felt if the tickets had to be purchased by March 1st, what was the mix-up?
Their amazement and confusion equaled ours. We did not know why then. We still don't know why.
The parents cheered as the buses pulled out, and the students are happy to know that they will finally get to see the place that they have spent so much time studying about, Washington, D.C. Jonathan Elias, Channel 6 News, live at 5.
It's better late than never is the operable
That's
phrase.
right.
That's our first report of the news for now.
Have a good night.